unless you live in a bush and don't pay taxes and you don't use electricity, you don't use street light, you don't drive a car, you use nothing. Like literally, you just live in the bush and you kill your own animal. You kill your own food. You grow your own plant. You don't buy anything from the store. You don't use any water from the city. Like you literally are on your own on a grid. Then you can say whatever happened in this country doesn't affect you. Because it does. Do you buy gas? Do you buy grocery? Do you drive on the street? Do you drive on that pavement, on that black tie street? Do you stop at the street light? Is that street light working? So anything that is going on, if you live in this country, then you should care about what goes on in this country. So for those foolish people that keep saying they don't care, it doesn't affect them. This is the reason why, and I don't want to go there, but sometimes people ask, why did the slavery act lasted so long? Why did slavery lasted so long? Because there are some people who are okay with being submissive, extremely submissive. And then you have some white people who thinks this country will be better off without people of color or Jews or Native American, I know. So it's funny to me, you're an immigrant, your family came from Europe to come here. Some of the Africans, some of the blacks have been here long before your family even thought of coming here. The first 20 blacks that came to this country came before the Mayflower arrived, a year before the Mayflower arrived. Thank you very much. And the first born African that in this country was born just a few years later. And let me remind some of you white folks there, not all of you clearly, but some of you, if you trace back your family tree, you will realize that your ancestor came here as an indentured servant. Most likely was a criminal in England, in Europe, somewhere in Europe. Was a criminal and was shipped over here because they don't want you there. And so they ship you here to come and serve your term as an indentured servant. Whether it's 5 years, 7 years, or whatever it is, they treat you just like any other slave. Because you were a slave for those years that you were indentured servant. And then the one that didn't come as an indentured servant, you came with the clothes on your back. And you had absolutely nothing. So for you to act like you're better than somebody that has probably been here since before your ancestor were even thought of, to be quick to tell a black or brown person go back to Africa or go back to your country, or a Middle Eastern telling them to go back to their country. How dare you? When you don't even know your own history. But all these poor white folks that want to vote for Donald Trump thinking he's going to do for them is the same thing that happened during the Civil War. When the Confederate want to recruit and have all these white folk, these poor white folks that want to go and fight for the Confederate to win so slavery can be kept. But guess what? Most of you didn't even own slave because you can't afford it. So you going to die and sending your son to go die because so some rich white men can keep their slaves? Mind you, you're not having a job. Most of you don't have a job because you can't get a job because they have slaves, free slaves, working for them. But you hate the slave though, not the slave owner who refused to let them go and hire you. So now these days, Donald Trump is promising you what? I don't know. It's promising you it'll be better if the immigrants, the Mexican, the blacks, the Middle Eastern, the Chinese, the Jews, if they were not here, it'll be better for you. Was it better for you during slavery? Slavery went on for over 300 years. It wasn't better for you because you're still poor till today, from generation upon generation. You're still poor. So all those promises they made to you, what did they come through? No, not at all. But yeah, you so stupid. You continue to eat the bullshit they feed you. I don't get it. I don't understand how the hate in your heart is stronger than your well-being. The hate in your heart is more important than your children and your generation, your family tree. It's more important. If we get rid of the blacks, asshole, you don't belong here. You don't belong here. The only people that belong here are the Native Americans. Those the ones that you treat like crap, and you continue to break the treaties that were signed. You push them all the way to the reservation, to the worst land, and you still trying to take the little that they have left. But we're the one that's evil. We're the ignorant one. I'm sorry. I know I'm going off because I've waited all day. I didn't look at any media. I just didn't want to be filled with none of those nonsense. I didn't want to be filled with, I don't know. I just didn't want to watch any of those news. I'm getting a headache, right? I'm getting a tension headache because it's just all coming back to me. But I just had to get this off of my chest so maybe I can sleep a little better tonight. But what I want to tell people is this is November, Thanksgiving. They're going to have a Black Friday. Are you going to participate in that Black Friday? Are you going to spend your hard-earned money that is not appreciated? Are you going to spend that at an establishment that you know for sure don't support you? An establishment you do know that doesn't care about you. An establishment that you know despite you. An establishment that you know hates you. Will you be spending your money at that establishment? I hope not. I will be boycotting. Actually, I've decided I'm just, from now on, will do my very, very best to make sure I continue to support Black-owned businesses or colored-owned businesses that I know support Blacks. I can't talk for any other race right now. You got to take care of home. So I'm talking about Black. Right now, I care more about Black than any other race. You take care of your race, I'll take care of mine from my end. I'll do what I can do. And I just advise y'all to do the same. Recently, a few months ago, I took some of my money out and I put it in United Bank, which is the oldest Black-owned bank in the United States. Support Black-owned businesses. Let's make sure the money goes round and round within the between the colored neighborhood, Black neighborhood. We don't do that enough. So that's it. I just wanted to get those things off my chest. Please watch. This is 2 different videos. I ran out of space in the first one, so this is the second one. So if you're only watching this one, watch the first one so it'll make more sense where I'm coming from. All right. God help us all. Have a good night, y'all.